everybody. Can you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, because I'm all right. Perfect. Yeah, I'm just waiting for some people to join us here before we really start. I'm throwing some stuff in the nest and down in the thread for some documents that some of them Doty actually shared with us last time he was in a Twitter space. I haven't had a chance to go over all of them yet, which is good. So we'll be learning together. But I figured it'd be really cool if we could all do a space where we just talk about unclassified documents and the information in them, and have fun exploring some of the UFO history. So I'm going to take a minute and just drop some stuff in the nest, but feel free to request a mic if you have any questions, and also add any documents you might want to share and talk about. Feel free. Hey, non-credible. You can hear me okay? I'm on a headset. I'm still on the road right now, actually. I'm supposed to be home by now, but how's it going?
I can hear the road just a bit, but I can hear you fine.
Perfect. Yeah, you missed it. I was just saying that Doty's joining us tonight, and I threw some documents in the nest. I'm going to throw some down in the thread there, and feel free to share any documents you might have. Do you have any favorite documents that you like to talk to Doty about?
I mean, I definitely have some questions for Doty, but I don't have specific docs. But I do have a corroborating witness, which is Mario Woods. Mario Woods was one of the nuclear weapons, witnesses, people. He was abducted and stuff, but Rick Doty was one of the people that showed up after that event happened.
Are you talking about the Miami or the Las Vegas?
No, this was back in the 80s, a nuclear base.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. Give me a little lowdown on what is
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of like Bob Salas, or this guy was a guard at a nuclear facility, and long story short, a craft appeared. There was a hubbubaloo, it abducted him and his friend. Once they got put back, they were there was more hubbubaloo, and Rick Doty showed up because he was an OSI investigator, and eventually the guy's friend disappeared. He's done 3-hour I'll find one of the interviews, I'll put it up in the nest. He's been on I know he did a very long definitive interview on Chris Leto. I mean, I'm really butchering it, but it was a very interesting story.
Yeah, I need to learn more about it for sure. I'm still kind of new with learning all the names and stuff. It's been a year, but even a year is still not enough just for a part-time kind of interest in the topic. There's so many names and stories and stuff that I'm still learning about. They're rabbit holes for sure. Up in the nest here, there's UFOs and related subjects. The anointed bibliography, that's one of the ones that Doty shared. It's a document that you can click on and download. There's also this communication with extraterrestrial intelligence. That's a pretty interesting document that came out, I think, back in the 60s. I'm not entirely sure, but again, another really interesting document. It's got extraterrestrial right in the name, right? So I don't know how you can get more disclosure than that.
Right? I mean, that's been the thing for me, because I haven't been a huge document guy, but I've seen so many documents. They're just the phenomenon's fucking real. Deal with it, but don't tell anybody.
What do you think, Panda? You can come up and speak. I'm curious what your favorite UFO document is. Logan's supposed to be joining us too. He's supposed to be my co-host tonight, so Have you got your cards out yet? Non-credible?
Sorry, I'm looking for a thing. No, I finally conquered the insomnia like 7 hours ago. 'Cause I had terrible insomnia. So I just woke up, dude. I literally just woke up. I set an alarm so I wouldn't miss this.
Oh, very good. Yes, I like the hellhound, or the hellhog for sure. I don't know if you can say boar, hellhog, whatever you want to call it, but it's a cool idea.
Man, bear, pig! The man, bear, pig! But, I don't know. Maybe someday there'll be a man, bear, pig too. But, yeah, no, I just gotta go in there and like clean them up. Actually, that's what I'm probably gonna do next. Like, I'm gonna clean up all the ones I already made. Like, now that I made an account, I can actually like save them properly. Cause like, some of them have like a few like little like grammar errors, and then like some of the earlier ones, like I wasn't like using it correctly. So technically like the formatting's like wrong. But I don't know. Should be all out within the next 24 hours.
Sounds good to me. Also, before Doty gets here, low-key side note, in the nest I put some mummy information. So people are like asking for more information about mummies. This is like, it shows the correct specimen. So when they talk about like the debunking of the mummies, I'll go over that a little bit. So the sample that was sent to the university here in Canada was of a single hand and like a disembodied head. So these two things were tested, and they were found to be like unauthentic, or like a part of the DNA was damaged. So it was considered a write-off. But those are not like the Tantalloid Nazca mummies, which are here in the nest. So it shows like the correct sample, right? So that's the right specimen. And then it breaks down like the DNA, right? So it shows like what percentage of the DNA is anonymous, I can say that word. And what part is like we recognize from different stuff. Like you got to realize we're related to like bananas, pigs, like, you know what I mean? Our DNA is really similar. So a lot of it is going to be similar. But the fact that there are such huge amounts that are totally unknown is quite wild. So I'm curious what your take is on the mummies, for sure.
I mean, I've got a lot of thoughts on the mummies. But I have a question first. Like, I thought like you had to go down to Mexico. Like, I thought that was kind of like part of the contention. They were like, you have to come here to see this stuff. Like, they sent some off to Canada.
Yeah. So back in the day, what is it? I used to have it memorized. If you go to my page and you search mummies, it should come up somewhere. But yeah, so they did previously. I want to say 2014 in May, but I might be wrong. They did. They sent 2 samples up to a university here in Canada, and it was debunked or claimed like it was too damaged to determine like if it was non-human, right? Like it was kind of they didn't know and written off. But then when these mummies came out, like I don't know about Jaime Maussan and like all his stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that isn't accurate that he shared. But as far as these specimens go, if these are the ones that he showed, the ones that are in the study here, then they would be accurate. But yeah, that was like back in the day. And then since that happened in Mexico, that like hearing or whatever, I know that they have sent samples out to like several different countries as well. So it's like, as long as we keep talking about it, hopefully we'll get some more answers, right?
Hey, yeah, because there are like, I know for me, there like, there's been multiple mummies, right? So that can get a little confusing. But hey, how many things should be in the nest? I'm worried things aren't loading for me.
I don't see any of yours yet. It takes a couple seconds though. So
No, I haven't put mine yet, but like, I have 5 things in the nest from you. Is that the right number of things in the nest from you?
yeah, I did flood it a little bit there. Oh yay, Logan is here.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Then it's just me, adjusting to the being awake. Hello, Logan. Have you come to assert your dominance?
You know it. Yeah, we're still waiting for Doty. I'm going to send him a message. He's probably finishing up supper or something, but I was just talking to Non-Credible here. I did put some documents up in the nest, but how's it going, B?
Hey, did you, sorry, I couldn't open my mic. I'm just out running to the store right now, but does he know that it's your space that's being held? Is that why he's late?
I did share it to him, but then we were chit-chatting, so I'm gonna just give him a little reshare so that way it is the very first message he sees, you know. Try to keep it.
Wait, there? Okay, I can hear you guys again now. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty excited. I remember last space he was in, we started talking about documents, and then he kept bringing more and more up, and I'm like, slow down! Trying to, like, write them all down, and I'm really excited we get to go over them tonight.
I know. There are so many documents. Like, that's, like, something that, like, just kind of flabbergasts me about, like, folks like Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm like, okay, like, I might not have definitive scientific proof for you, but would you like 10,000 documents, sir?
Yeah, dude. I get lost in the documents for sure. I'm trying to find I have a bunch on, like, what are they, psychoenergetics and stuff like that. It'd be interesting to hear his take on some of the more, like, psi studies that they've done, for sure. Because I'm pretty sure he was, like, right in the mix there with Hal Puthoff and those guys.
Hey, Ocean, have you seen the Doty files?
I haven't.
Okay, I'll put that up in the nest once I get this, little Mario Woods interview up there, but, Doty's done, like, it's been coming out, like, the last couple of weeks. It's like a 12-part series. Like, one of the episodes, he, like, covers, like, the aviary, like, and all the people involved in it, like Hal Puthoff and all them. But it sucks because it's like shadow banned on YouTube, so you have to have like a direct link. But it's there's like 12 episodes. It's like hours of like Doty, relating stuff. It's pretty cool.
Hey, Ocean, for people like me that don't know, like, what's going on right now with you, what are you up to?
I did explain a little bit earlier before you and Non-Credible popped in, but pretty much we're just doing a space. Doty was in earlier, like a week, 2 weeks ago or something. New Year's, came in on New Year's. And we were talking about some unclassified documents, and I figured it was worth having a whole space about.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, like, what are you doing, like, right now? What have you been up to today?
Oh, I'm driving back to my home, yes. I'm on the road all day long.
You went on, like, a road trip or something?
Coming back from vacation, yeah. Had a wonderful vacation, but it's like 10, 11-hour drive, so it's quite the drive to get back to my house, but I'm almost there, last stretch.
Are you the one driving?
No, I'm definitely not driving right now, don't you worry.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't arrange that computer thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to get around that. I mean, I could like VPN to like Canada, and maybe that would work. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. So far, my connection has been good, knock on wood. But yeah, it's nice to have a backup connection in case my fucking shit drops and that, and the whole space doesn't collapse. But I got you as a co-host now, so I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I think I got like 2 minutes or something to get back to service, but it'll be okay.
I sent Doty a message letting him know that you're like, just making sure he knows that you're hosting the space. So, I mean, I don't know. Is he showing late, I guess?
I'm not sure what time zone he is in either, so I sent him the space, and I assume it does the time zone change for it right when we send the invitation, so I don't know.
Assuming he's at home, he's in Mountain Time.
Yeah, Ocean. It's he said 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so that's in about like 45 minutes from now. So yeah.
Damn. Well, that'll give me some more time to get through this no service area, as long as I can make it. And that gives some time for bullshitting, for sure. I was kind of hoping you were going to play the owls are not what they seem. But you said you're on your way back from the store or something.
Oh, well, kind of. I'm on the road, but I should be back in like 20, 30 minutes.
That'll be good. So the timing works out well. See, Ulrich is here. Hey, Ulrich.
Yeah, we should try to get Ulrich up here. I haven't looked at it, but he just sent me a message a while ago. He's like, "Did you see me trying to ask Eric Weinstein to follow me? What happened, Ulrich?
Did it ever happen?
Is he following you? Are you like walking around? He's just like behind you. Are you going to need to get a restraining order for him following you too much?"
Here comes our Eric Weinstein fanboy.
Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up, Hey Ocean? What's up, Logan? What's up, Not Credible? Everybody, what's up, Jay Just? You guys, people have been. I'm not gonna. People have been making fun of me all fucking day. Even Randy. What was it yesterday? Randy was like, yeah, I didn't know he was making fun of me. He was like, "Will you please follow me?" No. How have you guys been? How have things been going with you guys? What's happening tonight, by the way?
Yeah, how's your mom been?
How's my mom been?
Kimber, my
Oh.
mom went through some stuff last year. She's doing good. She's strong. Yeah, no, she's doing great for sure. Thanks for asking. How's it been?
It's going good.
Okay,
I haven't
good.
heard from
I
my
thought she was
mom
doing
in a
that Mark
couple days.
Wahlberg
I'm
thing.
glad yours is good. I haven't heard from my mom since I dropped her back off in Tulsa in November, but my grandma always said if you don't hear from her, she's okay.
Oh, I feel that. Yeah, distance does kind of make it difficult to communicate sometimes, maybe. But I'm curious, do either of you guys have a favorite unclassified document or like government document?
I mean, I think the Gateway Papers are pretty fucking amazing. Um, like people don't even write like that anymore, you know. And hey, Ocean, if you can like talk about some of the, maybe you already did, and I'm running late, but if you can talk about some of the shit that you dropped in the nest, or just pick one that you find the most interesting, that would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Some of these that I've put in the nest here, so there are a bunch of documents. There's one from the NSA about communication with extraterrestrial intelligence or whatever. Low-key slid some mummy info in there because that's how I do it. There's also 2 documents that are from Doty the last time he was in the space that I should have done homework on, but I didn't. So we're all learning together here for sure. I think Sunstreak, did I put Sunstreak in there? It's another really great document. I will add that if you put it in the thread, it'll stay around forever. So after the space is closed, you can still review it. But the nest is gone once we close the space. So definitely put stuff in the thread because it'll be around forever. No end of the world documents though. I was kind of hoping you'd hit me with like an end of the world document or something.
You wanted more Doom from Doomer Daddy?
Yes, I need it.
There's honestly, if I can be honest, the stuff that's going on in the world now, I think is the craziest stuff. If you want to feel doomerish, look for any kind of electromagnetic or magnetic anomalies. So we had that thing. What is it? Just yesterday or a few days ago, where you see a bunch of fish that are like pooling up on the shore around, I think, the Philippines, right? I've been for months now seeing birds acting weird. Um, even the stuff in California with a bunch of waves, tornado in Florida. I guess tornado could be many different things, right? But any kind of even like internet outages, right? Or if we have satellites falling down, that kind of stuff I think is the most ominous. Aurora Borealis, that's the most doomerish stuff for me.
Do you ever follow that the Sherman or whatever, like the Earth frequency, and then also like the solar flare map? I like to follow that solar flare map because there has been, like, I'd say the past 6 months I've been following it, like some pretty big spikes lately, and I don't know, maybe that's normal. But yeah, I like to follow those for kind of like current doomer news.
Yeah, I mean that's the obvious stuff. So I don't talk about it. The Schumann resonance, Schumann resonance for to catch people up is a very very low electromagnetic frequency. The official one or the standard one is like 7.83, but there's actually like 3 different ones that are listed when you look it up on Wikipedia. It's kind of like a conductive band. The ionosphere sort of acts like a circuit. And the explanation given for the Schumann resonance is that it's lightning. So at any point in time, you have an average of like 50 lightning strikes across the earth. And that current travels like a band in the ionosphere. And although like, so the Schumann resonance is an average frequency, but at any given point, it's unlikely to be sustainably 7.83 hertz. And that is actually like linked in the Gateway Papers, which is insane, meaning like the Gateway Papers from the CIA that were declassified explain how you can sort of attune your body so that the brain waves travel on the sound waves of your heartbeat as they resonate with your body on top of the magnetic frequency emanated by your heart on top of the Schumann resonance, which is such a large wavelength that it spans the diameter of the earth. So, that's, I think that stuff is really interesting. And the changes in the Schumann resonance, I would love for somebody to explain to me. Obviously there's some weird ones happening, but I would like for somebody to explain to me what exactly they think it's indicating. I don't know exactly what to make of the changes in the Schumann resonance right now.
What are your thoughts, Kimber?
The thing that I connected in my mind at least, and with trying to visualize how the energy is between the heart, our physical heart, and our bodies and the earth and the axis that the earth in, was with pH and potential hydrogen in the body, and how they say that it's naturally 7.3 or whatever to 7.8 normal or whatever, and then we get into like what's acidic or alkaline. And I think it's interesting that I think that what the Schumann resonance is supposed to be is like our pH, like we're supposed to align our pH by air. I think that's like what's, and I think we can connect with it with the water and basically the potential hydrogen in the body, like our drinking stuff, our pills they want, but we're like trying to cram 32 like with a super slurpee or something where only 7 molecules want to go. And I think a lot of what it is like getting that potential like in our own magnetic sphere, like gathering our momentum, gathering our potential in the now, and harnessing like that energy and understanding that like we're kind of more so floating on top of the earth than we are really stomping around sometimes, and kind of understand these different concepts when it does come to understanding the heart and the earth, because I think there's like exact mathematical correlation between the energy networks.
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't know that there was a tie between like your pH level and the Earth's frequency. But when you think about it, like the pH in your body, like that takes the form, like your pee is literally a crystalline form, right? So like it's interesting that like crystals resonate. It makes sense that it would kind of you would evolve to resonate with your Earth, right? Like you would just kind of naturally be at like a frequency that would be easiest to survive with, or I don't know, might give you some extra abilities or something. But I definitely think like the number of satellites we have up in our like orbit is affecting the frequency of the Earth, and especially because we've moved into the like 5G or whatever. We're now using microwaves, and the difference between radio waves and microwaves are microwaves agitate water molecules, right? So now we have all of these microwaves traveling through clouds, and it might not make a huge temperature difference, but this is literally like we're microwaving our planet, and the more satellites that are up there bouncing around these 5G waves, that's like turning the dial up on that microwave, right? So I think that we should look for correlations between number of satellites in our orbit versus like the frequency, maybe times when we're transmitting a lot. Does that affect it, right? Can we see like ups and downs? And then also again with like the solar flares, that makes sense. So that might also affect like the amplitude, right? Maybe not necessarily the frequency, but the amplitude of that frequency, if that makes sense.
If you want to get really conspiratorial, I started getting all crazy 2 days ago. The NASA videos they show of the sun every day, we're missing frames as the sun, as one of the major sunspots was facing Earth. And then a space weatherman guy, Ben Davidson, looked for other sources of the video, and it does look really sketchy. It looks like it's patched. Like it looks like they might have like put a different frame in there, and they might have cut out where a plasma ejection happened. In other words, if there was some massive plasma that was ejected, it looks like they may have cut out the frames, and then another video may have patched in, almost like you're patching in something from the sun because you don't want to see how bad. It's like somebody who went and airbrushed the sun, or a makeup artist like didn't want to see the black eye that the sun had. So I got all conspiratorial. Like, is it so bad that they had to cover it up? And should we be expecting a major solar flare hitting like within the next couple of days? But you can see it pretty obviously online. I think it's January 6th. And you can go to what is it? suspiciousobservers.com. Look for the YouTube stuff.
Oh no, not January 6th of all days. Are they trying to hide the sun? Is that what you're saying? They're hiding the sun from us. Good luck. We'll feel it. You can only hide it for so long, right? Well, no.
I'll tell you this. It's been raining where I am, and I went outside today and I put my palm out and I said, like I was already in my hologram, and I told the rain to tell the clouds to dissipate and let the sun out now, that it was fine. And it literally happened within 10 minutes. And I'm just like, I don't know, it's just, we have so much power, but it's in what you're, like, imagine a 5-year-old, you give them a video game and you can do whatever, like, you give them weapons, whatever, and like, they'll do something violent, but it's not, it's like, it's because they're just testing the limits, testing the game, feeling the game and whatever, and it's a game, right? So it's, like, doesn't really hurt anyone, right, in the game. And it's like, when we're given our powers, it's like, what are you gonna do? The first thing, all rich, when you get your powers, is the first thing you're gonna do is blow up like a stop sign? Or like, what are you, like, what's your first instinct? Like,
Well,
so,
sorry, help me out again. Do you mind rewinding the tape a little bit? Why would I get any powers? Help me out
Because
here.
you're an all-powerful being, Ulrich. You just don't realize it.
I might have tuned out a little bit. My brain might have like, I heard about kids and I heard about like rebellion, so it's my fault. I just missed it. Forgive me. I
it's all
promise
good.
not
I
to
don't
blow up the
really
stop
repeat
signs.
myself because I don't really know where it comes from sometimes.
No, that's okay. I just I don't want to say never, but I can't see me taking out any sort of rage against stop signs. I'm mostly upset when you can't see them, but I promise not to hurt stop signs.
No, I'm not, it wasn't personal. It was just like, just imagine. Like, you are in your hologram. This is the hologram of Kimber. This is the hologram of Kimber. This is the hologram of Kimber. Tap into it. Call it in like you do in the dream, like in the astral. And call it in this moment right now. And it's like, all right. And
We were kind of
I
talking about
think,
this the other day, like how consciousness is not local to the material that creates it, right? Like your bioelectric, is B in here, she is too. Your bioelectric field, I love that term, extends beyond your body, and they can't even prove that consciousness is actually in your brain. They can't measure consciousness. So I was just like, well, is there any proof that you even need to be a material, physical being in order to have consciousness? You know what I mean? You could totally be non-material, I believe. But.
They say it's like it's not like in your brain, but it's attached to your brain.
Oh fuck, my mic's hot. But I did put a document from the DIA, or it's like NASA or the DIA. It was like, I think it's like a study or just like a proposal, but it talks a lot about like, I haven't read it all, but basically it's like if the phenomenon's out there, like either like you might have to obfuscate like all the scientists to keep it hidden. Um, uh, oh god, I'm explaining it terribly, but like that Tony guy, the guy with like the dog with the pizza, like he was looking into it. So I know he's really interested in Doty.
Yeah, I'm following you so far, and I'm sorry, I was just tuning out because it's the end of the day, my brain. But I'm following you with the non-local consciousness thing. I'm down for it. And hey, Ocean, these docs, like when the space is done, are you saying I won't be able to access them anymore?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that anything put in the nest is available until the space closes, but anything put in the thread or down in the little purple pill, the comment section under the space, those stick around even after the space is closed. So it's a good idea to drop it into the little bottom corner pocket there. That way it'll be around forever. That's
You
what
want
I'm
me to
hoping.
drop in into the little
Drop
bottom
it
quarter
in.
pocket? Okay,
Yes, please.
Drop it like it's hot, Ulrich.
I will. Incredible.
I'm curious how much of these documents is accurate and how much of it is like inaccurate in today's time. You know what I mean?
Well, I just popped all the links you put in there open, so I can potentially go. Well, if I can make it through all these pages, without the ADHD or whatever the fuck. If I was gonna go through these, hey Ocean, which one would you want me to do first? Okay, good
Who
to
knows?
know.
I'm traveling through an area with not very good service. So
Oh, okay.
you
I
cut
heard
out
not very good
Northwestern
service, and then you start cutting out.
I'm on my I should be home in like 5-10 minutes, so maybe I can. I don't know if I can do anything though. I don't know. Try.
did anyone know anything about the Alice project?
Can you guys hear me good?
Yes, for sure. How's it going, Tony? Happy you're here.
Hey, not too bad. I'm just sorting out some strange shit going on. But Mr. Doty, he's in Disclosure Tonight space still, but I'm sure he's going to arrive at some point. Oh, well, not space, I should say.
Yeah, I believe I started a little bit early. It's early, but that's good because I haven't reviewed any of these documents yet. So. Do you have a particularly favorite unclassified document, Tony?
That's funny you mentioned that. The Brookings report, page 156, on dealing with human from the NASA website. That's my current favorite document.
That's the one I just put in the nest, right?
Yeah, I did share it with you, but
Yeah, I think that's the one. I went and got it out of our
yeah,
DM.
that's the ticket, because that's kind of like where you can go in a neutral zone and go, yeah, okay, when the guys explore the moon and all that stuff, yes, they can compartmentalize all this stuff for security reasons to do with China and whoever, blah, blah, blah. Or if they find any stuff there, they're not going to tell you anyway. And it doesn't matter if you're a scientist or not. So it's a good neutral document to say that side and say there's absolutely nothing going on.
We'll definitely drop that in the thread if you haven't yet, so that way I can find it and give it a quick look over. There is a couple in there in the thread as well. The Foreign Technology Division, that was one that Doty was super hyped on last time he was in the space, and I still haven't looked at it. But...
Oh shit! Oh, god damn it. Anyway, you said Doty's over at the Disclosure Tonight show right now. He's over there like a lot, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll sit there, and then sometimes he sits there in the after chat for ages as well. So, yeah, hopefully he shows up.
Is he there like every week and stuff, or like multiple times like every week and shit? Because I think he like does from like what I can tell.
It's not uncommon to see him there a lot. He's there a lot. He loves it.
But something I do really appreciate about him is like he's been pretty open and honest about his work and the stuff that he's done. And yeah, he's always down to chat. So I don't know, I really appreciate it about him.
Dude, before I started doing Twitter Spaces, I used to hang out over in Fessler's Disclosure Tonight show. Oh shit, a lot back in the day. But yeah, I don't know. I started doing Twitter Spaces and I stopped using YouTube like completely. But yeah, I love Doty, like how open he is.
Yeah, with the show, you don't have to like everything about the show, but it's got a lot of interesting information that you can take, if you will. And like Thomas said,
All right, you guys. So what's your plan for
Does Gary still work
2024?
there?
Sorry, you go ahead, Logan. Forgive me.
yeah, he's still around there, yeah.
You guys, you should not make me a co-host. I'm very irresponsible right now. I just don't know how to say no to Ocean. But you might want to pick somebody more credible, like non-credible.
No, you're good. I invited quite a few people, and I just want to have like a nice, respectful, intellectually stimulating conversation where we're not calling each other stupid names, you know? And also reviewing facts, because then we can kind of stay more away from opinions about people and more look at just the facts of the documents, right? So I figured it was like the perfect topic for no bullshit. And I think that's what we really need in 2024 is just no bullshit, collectively working together, right?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough sell with Doty in the space. No offense, but everyone seems to think he's like a bullshit artist.
Some might say though that's just like a majority of that comes from like all the character assassination he's had to go through over the years, you know. Like they were only able to throw like the PTSD thing at Grush, but if he had been like a guy who infiltrated the UFO community because that was his job to do, they probably would have thrown him under the bus for that, and everyone would probably feel like it was really contentious, and no one would be asking, okay, but who gave you those orders and who sanctioned that operation? Because you were just doing your job.
I know he
Yeah.
often refers to groups. He'll talk about my group, the other people's groups, right? I've heard him use that term before as well. And he's been pretty open and honest about the fact that, like, when he hears something from someone, I take it for what it is, right? Like, this is what he's been told, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean it happened exactly as it happened, but I believe that when he's telling us that he was told something, that he really was told whatever that thing was, right? But
Let alone
you know his job still, right?
yeah, and like let alone when he tells us like there's like he has like firsthand knowledge of something. Like that's the stuff that gets me like ooh, ooh.
Yeah, man, that's the thing too, is like first-hand experiences are worth like just as much, if not more than pictures. Like, pictures are great, but like if you were there and you experienced it, I think you can get a lot more information from a person about the thing than just like a still image or even a video, especially in today's time, because like anything could be faked, right?
You got to remember to ask him about something he was there for. Was Mario Woods? If you know who that is, he's like Robert Salas. He's like another one of those guys. He was at like a nuclear place or a weapons place or whatever, you know, some on the road. And Mario Woods was like the guy that was like Robert Salas' position, I think, or something like that. And a UFO showed up, and he was abducted, and Robert Doty showed up on the scene because he was told there was like an event that happened at the base. Rick Doty shows up. He says that all the hatches were open, no one was around. The car was out in the open, and the car door was, just open, like the place was deserted or whatever, right? And Mario confirms that like Doty was there to show up on the scene, and when he was abducted, like that's a crazy ass story. And there was a guy, because where this base is located, right, there's like a farm. Apparently, like one of the ranchers managed to get a picture of the UFO, and no one's managed to like get that photo from him. I tried tracking him down, but I haven't been able to yet. But that's worth digging into for sure.
Yeah, I put like a very short version of Mario Woods telling his story up in the nest because that was something that was really interesting for me. Is because both Doty and Mario Woods are like some of these like 50 odd people that have like gone and talked to like the DO or the IGs and like Congress and or Arrow. You know, they all haven't talked to all of them, but you know sometimes they go on a different pipeline for who they go talk to. But I felt like that brings a lot of credence to like what Doty says like he did. Because it's like a corroborating witness. You know what I mean? He's a corroborating witness to them, and they're a corroborating witness to him. And it's just, hard to deny there's something going on there.
It's so crazy because I was saying Kimball's having a space and UFO Shane's having a space, and here's another one. But for some reason, like UAP Mike and them just absolutely hate me. Probably because what I said in the space the other night. But yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, screw them. I was trying to go tell them that, but they wouldn't let me speak. Because I literally asked them, I said, who's paying y'all to do this and push this narrative? And they did not answer. And I said, I guess, no, I said, are y'all getting paid to do this? Like, are y'all being told to come do this? And they did not answer. So I said, I'm going to take that as a yes. And then, like, they completely, and then I asked a question and then they didn't answer, basically kicked me as a speaker. And I just called them out because I think that they are being paid. But anyway.
Am I being paid, Taylor?
Are you?
I'm definitely not.
Well, then
You
no.
tell us.
No, I mean, they were obviously reading a script in there and pushing a narrative. It was like clearer than ever, clearer than any of Logan's spaces or anything like that. Like, I mean, if you were there, you would know what I'm talking about. They were literally reading a
I was
script
there.
the whole time. Okay, well then maybe you understand.
I definitely understand your perspective on the situation. I don't know if I agree with it, but I understand your perspective. No disrespect to your perspective.
Yeah, they should let people come in there and ask them questions without like them like kicking them and stuff. Like, if they really believe and they have evidence that like show what they believe, then they should allow questions. I ask me anything. Like, not obviously not like any information that's going to like dox me or anything, but, ask me anything about my belief system. I'll be able to sit here and defend it. But like, these people, like if you're not allowing other belief systems to come in there and question yours, then like, do you even believe yours? And like, what is your motive if you can't even stand behind your own beliefs?
I can agree that the why are we here is why we're all here, right? Like what's going on? Why are we here? So I think that anyone that comes with questions why I'm here or why any of us are here, that's just kind of with the territory of like being a conspiracy theorist, is we're gonna have conspiracies about shit, and there are real conspiracies going on, right? So I don't blame anybody. I went through a time when I thought everyone was a robot and like everyone I was talking to was a robot. It's a phase of joining Twitter Spaces for sure. So like, I don't know. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Totally hear what you're saying. J Just has had her hand up for a minute though. How's it going, J Just?
Hi, Ocean. Thank you for inviting me to your space. And I don't know, Taylor, what you're talking about, like agenda. I don't understand what you're saying. Like, what happened to you? I'm not quite sure.
Um, yeah, so like, this has actually been going on like for a while in certain people's spaces and stuff like that. It's not anything really new, but just like the fact that like some of these higher up people that have like a big following and stuff, like whenever they host spaces about like the phenomena, like they like are really pushing like a certain narrative, and like they like thing that bugs me is that they won't allow questions from any other narrative. Like they won't allow other
Yeah, I hear
perspectives to come
you.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. I also get like brought up and then sent down in those spaces sometimes. So, I mean, I think some of it is they don't like respect women, some of the people here. And if you're a strong woman, they definitely feel threatened by that too.
For me, I've noticed friction where like I can sit and talk with people all day long and have different beliefs, right? Like we can all have totally different beliefs and still have good conversations about what our common ground is. So I try to find like common ground with everyone. But when you take away someone's, you try to take away someone's ability to believe something, or you try to convince someone that what they believe isn't right, that is where I clash, right? Like if there's a space where someone's saying you need to believe this, or you're stupid for believing what you believe, that's kind of like where I got the issue, right? So it's like, as long as we can just respect that we have different beliefs and still share space, like that's how we're gonna move forward, I think.
Exactly. And like that's totally fine. I just think that like we should all be able to like all talk, even though we have a different like perspective. Everybody should be able to come and share like their beliefs without, I obviously never like ridicule the person, but I will like talk to people about the beliefs themselves. But like that should be allowed. Like we should be able to discuss different perspectives on things. But yeah, thank you, Ishan.
Well, of course, like I got pretty strong beliefs about why I don't like Nazis, right? But I mean, I'm not going to sit there and call a person stupid for their belief. But if they're believing these really extreme views that hurt other people, regardless of what it is, Nazis is a good example. I'm going to disagree with that belief 100%. But again, you don't have to attack people, and I love it for sure. It's hard for some people though.
The only thing I don't like is like the intelligence community. Really, like they seem to just try to get their fingers and everything, and really like like hinder any progression in a field. They try to like hoard all the information and keep a very tight agenda and like not allow questions. And that's really the main thing that bugs me is like real. I'm talking about higher ups that are like really hindering any progression towards moving forward.
Well, what was the narrative that you felt like they were pushing when, like, what kind of like made you ask that question? Like, what type of narrative was it that you were like, okay, this feels like maybe there's like a reason why you're saying this?
Yeah, they were just going through like an entire script of this like atheistic space alien narrative that I asked them about. And they seem to really put down any other conversation of any other narrative, like, just not even allow the conversation to be had or questions to be asked. And, anybody's belief system should be like, you should be able to ask questions about it. especially if you're like hosting a huge space, like pushing a certain narrative. If they can't like stand behind it, then they shouldn't be pushing it. But I think it's really just like the
Hey Taylor,
intelligence.
why don't you think that why don't you think aliens come from space?
Well, that's a good question. Why, like, what is the evidence that they are coming from space? In saying that they come from space, are you saying that they're like an evolved civilization?
No, I'm just saying they come from space.
Yeah, that's where I would just ask for like evidence of that, and like if you're just saying they're biological and not spiritual whatsoever, that there's a conversation to be had there. Just questioning like what is the evidence for that, or bringing up
What do you
different
count as
aspects of
evidence?
the phenomena. What do I count as evidence? Just
Uh huh.
repeated observation of the phenomena, and that's what we're talking about right now is the ET extraterrestrial phenomena. So any type of repeated eyewitness observation that's happened, that's a commonality that commonly occurs. Firsthand accounts,
I mean,
obviously.
supposedly, like, pilots see this stuff every day, apparently, is what a lot of people seem to be saying. Like, it is definitely repeated.
Yeah, I
Like,
believe
From
in. I
space?
believe in. I know UFOs are real. I just think the intelligence community is really keeping a tight wrap on like the narrative of it, and they aren't allowing other perspectives.
well, the really interesting stuff to me is not the ones that come from space, but the ones that supposedly, like, move as fast underwater as they do in the air. And supposedly how they're able to do that is they, like, heat up or something while they're underwater, evaporating the air, like the water around them, so that it's like a hot knife through butter. It just cuts right through the water.
You guys, it's getting real hot and steamy in here. I appreciate that commentary and
I agree.
interest. Taylor, welcome to our space. I love your fiery energy here. I'm going to insist on hands unless Ocean shoots me down because I want to keep it civil. Doomer Daddy needs to rule with an iron fist or an iron hand. So please, we've got some new people in here, Peter, and then we got Universe. Whoa, I almost said Young Universe. Tony, Pizza Dog, what's up? And let's go with Jay Just.
Okay, well, I just got a couple quick things to say. Appreciate the
Oh,
time.
Peter, forgive me. Like Jay just beat you to it, but you're going to be
No,
next.
it's okay. He can go.
Really?
Also, let me
Um,
just say real quick, Taylor, you were just saying right then that like repeated observations, I guess, of different people claiming the same thing, right? And that's exactly what has happened with people claiming that these aliens told them they're from space in a certain star system or whatever, right? So that's exactly what you were just saying. That's what that is. Repeated
Yeah,
evidence.
but these same aliens have also said that they're from Mars before. And they're known to be like deceptive, and actually if you look at first-hand accounts like Greg Rinchich, he says when he interviewed them, the beings, they would say that they're from a different place every single time he asked them, and they would say that they got here by a different means every single time they asked him. And I think Ganga has had the same observation that they're honestly just lying, and they don't have any there's absolutely no evidence to even say that they're from outer space, but they
But why do
do.
they all have to be from the same place? Like we're all not from the same place. Like I'm
No,
from
they don't
LA,
have to
you're
be from the
from
same place.
wherever.
Just every time they would ask them where they're from and how they got here, they would have a different answer. And this has been repeatedly documented as well.
Why
So,
not?
Okay, well, real quick, let's get to Peter, and then Tony got his hand up now, so I do want to give Peter a
well,
chance to
yeah,
chime
but I
in.
don't want to skip over Jay Just. Can we do Peter, Jay Just, and then Tony? And Peter, do you know how
Okay,
to lift up your hand?
I'll be,
You're
I'll be,
on that
I
thing.
promise to be quick and succinct. I don't think this discussion can have, a polarity or a balance, if you will, unless we do consider the idea that these are interterrestrial phenomena, not extraterrestrial. So there's a lot of argument about an extraterrestrial phenomena that precludes the probability that any unidentified flying object or UAP is from outer space or from a different solar system or from a different star system. Whether or not they're from our solar system, I could see that discussion. But we have to understand there is a possibility that they are interterrestrial and that they are actual beings that are living in different dimensions in the Earth's atmosphere, in the water, in the ground, and in the energy, if you will. Now, I know it sounds really far-fetched and it's like, oh, you don't have any proof. However, we need to talk about it. And if you'd like to, we can have a discussion. If you'd like to move to the next subject, that's great. But interterrestrial beings are really a very highly probable answer. Thank you.
Peter, we're radically open-minded here. We're going to keep the order, but there's almost no topic that is not allowed as a subject. So absolutely. And then we're going to go to J Just. And then if you don't know how to lift your hand or raise your hand on the app, please let us know. We'll send somebody over. We have great customer service agents. We'll show you exactly where the button is and how to push them. Go ahead, J Just.
Okay, I just want to know, have they tracked these things, actually tracked them from space, and then where they land, or um, or maybe go to the water? And another thing is, Gresh had some sort of talk. I'm sure everyone's seen that. And basically he said that there were only, he said that there was one type of alien, and that was the gray. Whereas Doty has said before that there were several types of aliens, and there's been reports of several types of what we call aliens. So I'm just curious about that, and I'd like to ask Doty about that, because obviously Grush has been talking with people in the intelligence community and who claim to have the facts. So, why does he say one thing if that's true? What's reported was true, and then other people say other things and reports say other things.
And J Just, where was it that you believe you heard Grush say it's just one type of alien?
Well, I didn't, but there's a report that he gave talks. I don't know if anyone's seen it in New York to a private audience of, I think it was lawyers and ex-FBI personnel or something. I'm not quite sure who was in the audience, but there was a claim on Reddit that he gave a talk and they showed pictures of it. And he had a few things that were new to say, like he said in the ships themselves, they were like small, but when you went in, and I've heard other claims about that, when you went in, they were huge, like a football field or whatever. And there was another Greer witness who said the same thing. He said, but this was our ship. This was the ship I believe he was talking about was, he said, a reproduction vehicle. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know who to believe.
Wait,
And
what's a production vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, Jay, just I almost made a joke. I couldn't help myself. He calls them ARVs. I wish I could do a Greer voice. Alien reproduction vehicles.
right,
They're not like some interdimensional Pornhub instrument. Yeah,
right.
alien reproduction vehicles.
Sorry, I don't know the lingo, but
No, it's
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
So it's interesting how, like, I guess snippets are coming out. I don't know if that's all he said, but I'll try and find the article and post it in the Jumbotron.
Wait, Ulrich, can you exactly explain what an alien reproduction vehicle is?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is where they might need a better marketing department, right? I think that's Greer's term for reverse engineered vehicles that humans made. An alien reproduction vehicle could be like that's where they foreign. See the Freudian slips are coming out. That's where they film their OnlyFans, right? They might have their own thing going on there. So they probably need to change that name because I was about to say, Jay, just it's confusing because you didn't say alien, but if you say alien reproduction vehicles, that could be just the aliens getting it on, right? Anyway, we're going to go to Tony and then non-credible. And Peter, if nobody's addressed your interdimensionality hypothesis, then we'll loop around to that. And I see is this the real Rick Doty in the room?
Yes, Rick is here. How's it going, Rick?
Well, welcome, Rick. Welcome, Rick. Should I even be co-host? I don't know if
No,
I
you're
can if I
good.
can manage this.
We're
I'm
good there. We're
I'm
good.
getting all
He's
nervous.
okay as a speaker for now. I'm
Okay.
still on the road, so having your connection, I don't know if co-hosting helps with connection at all, but if I get home, I think it'll help keep the space stable if I got someone who's got a good connection. But we will get to let Tony, we'll get around to the hands, and then maybe
Oh,
talk
well,
to Rick
let's go
too.
with Tony and then Rick. We'd love to hear from you. So we're gonna do Tony and then Rick, and then we're gonna continue with the hands. All right.
Yeah, I've got to bounce for a bit, and I'll try to come back. Just checking that you guys are all up to date with what Crush has reported in
Hey,
regard
Tony,
to.
you're really quiet.
Any better?
No.
I'll bounce off for a bit. I'll try to come back.
Wait, hold on. Is it just me?
No, he's low.
Any better now? Any better?
Tony, you got to get real close with that mic.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you're all up to date with what Crush has released in that conference in New York with 60 people and all that sort of stuff, and alluding to, the greys and all that stuff. But I've got to bounce for a bit anyway, and I'll try to come back. My signal's shit.
Okay. All right. We'll get you then. Rick, welcome to Ocean Space.
Yeah, why is there an echo?
That's from Tony's account. I'm pretty sure he's got an echo going on. Hey, Rick, you just gotta hit the little unmute button. I don't know if you remember how to do that. Hope you're having a good night. Thank you for joining us. We got so many documents in the nest, so I'm really excited that you're here sharing space with us. There you go. I can hear you now. You did have your mic on for a second there.
Anyway, in the meantime, Jess, good to see you. I haven't seen you in like forever. Thanks for joining.
Hey, what's up, Logan? It's been a while. Like, I try not to join many spaces these days because, how it goes. But my question is for Rick, and I've been dying to ask this for years now. A few years ago, Tim McMillan, he posted documents that indicated that Rick was present at Bob Lazar's first raid in 2003. And he had part of that. And I'd like to ask Rick exactly what role he played in that, if any, and if he was present for that raid.
Rick, so you gotta press the that little mic button in the bottom.
There you go. He's got it.
Yeah, I can you hold on? I'm doing something else, but I'll be right back with you guys, okay?
Yeah, we'll buy you like 5-10 minutes, something like that, Rick.
You take your time whenever you're ready. Yeah, Jess, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining my space here today. I've never heard of this story before that you're sharing with us.
Yeah, give me a couple minutes and I'll be right back on it.
Yeah, come on. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear it. Yeah, Tim McMillan, he posted a couple of documents that were about, you know, Rick's history and stuff. And, I'm not the person that likes to have like any type of documents posted without permission, but he went ahead and did that. And he was the person who insinuated that Rick was part of Bob Lazar's raid initially, which, that brings up some questions. So I would actually like to see his rebuttal and his whole response to that, because that's kind of huge in the UFO world if that was true, if he was actually there. The implications are enormous.
Wait, are you talking about the more recent FBI raid, like that's featured
No,
like
no,
in the
no, no,
movie?
no. I'm talking about the 2003 raid. I think it was his very first raid.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, I think a Doty perspective could shed a lot of insight, especially if he does have some insider knowledge and he's present or around. I'd love to hear that take, but maybe we'll get to Hans there while we wait for Rick. Was it J. Just was first, Ulrich? I don't remember.
Well, I don't know exactly the order. I thought it was non-credible, J. Just Taylor. Non-credible, do you still have a question? If you do, please keep those hands up.
I didn't. What I was going to say when I raised my hand, we've gone to a different conversation, so I'm good right now.
Really? All right, let's go to J. Just and
Real quick,
then Taylor.
Ocean, did you have that clip still since we're waiting?
Oh, sure, if you'd like to play it. Are you talking about yeah.
Play it. I mean, I don't know. Whenever you want to is cool.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. Let's see. There it is. All right. So this is that message from Twin Peaks, I guess. It's pretty good.
Portions of the government we both served with pride have failed us. They have lied, withheld secrets, acted in their own selfish interests at the expense of their citizens. And don't believe anyone who tells you this all began in Roswell in 47. I'm convinced now that whatever I've glimpsed or encountered and spent my life tracking has been with us since humankind came down out of the trees. It is not something out there, in the president's words. They may well have once been our neighbors from some distant star, but I believe they were here before us. I believe that were we able to look deeply at the whole of human history, we would see that they have always been here. I believe they have observed, helped, haunted, tormented, and teased us since the beginning of time for reasons entirely their own. I believe that they are a multitude, and that their true nature is singular and energetic, not physical, evolved in some way light years beyond our ability to understand, and as a consequence, our limited, linear sense of time means nothing to them. A few of us were chosen for some strange purpose to learn more about them, or perhaps for other reasons. I believe their presence fills more than the skies or these woods. They lie at the root cause of every extra-normal or paranormal experience our species has recorded. Religious, spiritual, scientific, ghostly, inspirational, angelic, and demonic. From the burning bush to Fatima and Lourdes, to vampires and sky people, monsters and abductions in the night, and Roswell and Homestead and all those strange lights and crafts seen for millennia by so many of us in so many skies. I believe all these phenomena that our puffed-up egos and busy ant minds persist in trying to label, categorize, penetrate, and comprehend all spring from this same uncanny source. This is the mother of all others. And were we ever able to set our eyes on its ultimate nature, we would find it as foreign, incomprehensible, and indifferent to us as ours would be to bacterial microbes swimming in a drop of water. These final truths you must never forget. We are utterly incapable of knowing their true intent, and their true intent may not be to wish us well. It may be that they're here to guide or even aid our evolution. It's equally possible we may matter no more to them than those random protozoa in our tap water do to us. In other words, by our meager moral definitions, they may be both good and evil. And those precious distinctions of ours mean nothing to them. There may be even a good and evil side at play here. And we, our human race, is the game. Let me hasten to add, I hope I'm wrong, that this work, being chosen, has deranged me. But Garland, I fear that I am right.
Oh, Rick, are you back with us now?
I'm back. And I'm sorry I was on another podcast, but I'm back. I'm with you now.
Oh, it's all good. You're a busy man. I'm just happy you can hang out. Yeah, I love that clip Logan was just playing.
Yeah, that's interesting. That was interesting.
I mean, I'll re-ask my question if I need to.
Of course, yeah, no, go ahead, Jess. Jess had a question there for you, Rick, if you're ready.
Okay, yeah, go
Hi,
ahead.
Rick. Hi, I've been trying to talk to you for a while about this. A few years ago, Tim McMillan posted some documents that indicated that you were present at Bob Lazar's raid in 2003, his very first raid. It indicated that you were there. Can you speak on that? Were you there? Did you know anything about it? When did you first know about Bob Lazar, and what was your role in his story, basically, is what I'm asking.
Well, that raid occurred in New Mexico at a place called Edgewood, just north of Edgewood, and I had no idea. I was there as a advisor to something, and I didn't know the name of the person they were raiding.
What
I
does
didn't
that
know it was
mean?
Bob Lazar.
I'm
And but
sorry,
when
you were there as an advisor to whom, and what does that mean exactly?
I was there as an advisor to the task force that was raiding which was a federal task force of made up of FBI agents, ATF agents, then state police, and I think there was county sheriffs there too. And I was an advisor for something which wasn't necessarily related to what Bob Lazar had, but of some of the information that they thought he had, and
So,
which
so you were aiding the FBI. Were you still part of the AFOS IFS point? Or were you
no,
part of the?
no, no, no. I left OSI in 1988. I was on a special team that was advising on certain cases, and I'll just leave it at that. And
Now, did
we
you
were
have, as far as, we know your whole entire role with Rick, with Benowitz. We know exactly what you did with Eric. Was any of that, did you have any of that to do with um, Lazar at any point in time? Were you
no,
feeding him disinformation?
no, no, no. Our team was asked to go to that residence. Again, I didn't know it was Bob Lazar, and they had already started the raid, and they had gotten what they thought they needed, and it had to do with explosives. He was selling fireworks online, and he didn't
What
have a
about John
permit.
Lear? Did you have anything to do with what John Lear fed Lazar?
No, no.
Did you know John Lear at that point in time?
Well, real quick, Jess,
Yes,
I do want to get
yes.
to the hands as well. So if you could put your hand up, I think it's important what you're saying
Sorry,
for
I mean,
sure.
I really think this is some pretty important questioning.
Oh, of course,
So,
yeah.
like John Lear, like I would just like to know, did you know John Lear at this point in time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I met I met John Lear back in the 80s. He actually flew me when I was stationed at Area 51. He flew me from one point to another. I didn't know I mean, he wasn't as popular then, of course. That was in the
So,
80s.
so do you think John Lear had the same type of position that you had with, um, like in his position with the CIA and all of his involvement? Do you think that he had the same type of position that you held with, Benowitz?
No, no, no. John Lear was a pilot for the Central Intelligence Agency during the war, and then he worked as a contract pilot for the Department of Energy and uh, the Department of Defense in the Nellis Test and Training Range. So he
So why
flew
were
people
you there
around.
exactly? What was your
Yeah,
role
what
there?
were you
If you
looking
were a
for there that you
disinformation
didn't find?
agent, if that was your position, why were you there at Bob Lazar's raid exactly? What was your duty? What was your task? What was your scope of work?
And what were you looking
I
for that you didn't find?
I was an advisor on a
What does that
task
mean?
force. I was advising if there was any classified information, if there was any special access, if there was any special things that he allegedly had taken from Los Alamos or from some other labs. And again, I didn't know I didn't know his name at the time, but none of that stuff was there. All they found was fireworks. So my job, I never actually performed any job there. I was just sitting back waiting for them
Can you get
to
any more
search.
specific with what you were looking for?
Well, anything that he's had that was classified.
And did you find anything classified that he
Now,
was
I did
divulging?
listen to me. Listen to me. I'm repeating this over. I did not participate in the search. The FBI, the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, and the bomb team from the state police, they did the search. I did not search. I didn't go in his house. I sat in the vehicle. If they would have found something, they would have brought it to me. They didn't find anything. They didn't bring anything to me. My name was on that document that somebody, the search warrant, my name was on there, but only in an advisory role. I didn't search. I didn't go in his house. So we didn't find anything. So,
So the
and I was there
FBI
for
came to
maybe
you.
30 minutes.
So the FBI came to you and asked you, "Hey, can you go and can you check this out for us?" That's
No,
what they.
no, no. I was already on a special task force. I was already on it.
What was the
Nobody
special
came to
task
me.
force?
It was
Okay, so I'm gonna step in here just for a hot second. Rick, first of all, UFO Twitter can be a tough space. We want to keep you in the room, and we don't want you to feel ganged up against. And a lot of these questions are really, a lot of people have them, and we want the hard questions asked and answered if possible, right? So I'm really not attacking anybody. I do want to follow the hands. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, Rick, some of the confusion here is how you could be an advisor for possible classified information for a target that was still unknown to you, right? So I think that's sort of the logical inconsistency that some people perceive here. And if that's
Yeah,
it,
and I would just like to say that I've been following Rick for like a really long time, and this is the first I've ever heard of him being on a FBI special task force. So I'm intrigued by it. So I would like
right?
to dig a little bit deeper because in anything that I've ever found out, like none of this like involves the FBI special task force. So that's why I'm asking these questions. I mean, you can ask other people, raise hands, like ask other people questions, but I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
intrigued by
and
it.
I
And
love that
Rick,
you're
I
asking.
would love to talk to you one-on-one about this. And I've been trying to for a while because I know you've spoken with a lot of people that I'm familiar with. But it's just very intriguing to me. And I don't mean to attack you at all, but I just would like to dig a little bit deeper into this very specific line of questioning that not a lot of people are familiar with.
Right,
I
right, and
well,
love the tenacity.
everyone,
there
I really
really
want to
isn't
insist on
anything
hands.
deep to ask. I said exactly what happened. I never went into his house. We sat in a vehicle, myself, and there were others involved in this that sat in a vehicle. If they would have found something that they needed an evaluation or an expert opinion on, then they would have brought it to us and said, if this is classified, or is this something from a laboratory, or is this something from here or there, then I would have answered the question. During
So
that
they
time,
asked you from
listen,
your expertise from AFOSI?
no,
Is that
no,
what
no,
the,
no, 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 no. At that time, from 1994 until 2007, I worked for the Institute for Advanced Studies, Dr. Putoff's organization. We had a DARPA project. I was on that project. It also involved other matters that I can't go into great details on, and I was an advisor on this team to evaluate any type of classified information or any type of information that came from a national laboratory, such as Los Alamos, Sandia, or Lawrence Livermore. And it was just not me. There were two other people there, another person and then a female. That we all worked at the same lab. And if they had found something, which they didn't find anything, But if they had found something that they needed an expert opinion on, they would have brought it to us and said, is this classified, or is this coming from a lab, or is this, and if it met a certain category of classified information, or a special access program, or a sensitive compartmented information, then I would have given a professional opinion, or we would have, the three of us.
So when
None of
you
that ever
worked
So,
happened.
for,
so you guys,
so when you worked for Put Off,
who is Axelrod? Like all of your questions are really good, but we have a lot of people with hands raising, and we actually skipped over other people. So do me a favor, and if you want to get more questions in, raise your hand. Let me know if you don't know how to do that. You can definitely do it from the phone. And I wanna give Rick the feeling that he has the full space, to fully express himself, because I'm really grateful he's in here, and I want as many people as possible to get their questions in. We're going to go with J Just, Non Credible, Taylor, and then Panda. If you guys can help
And
me remember that.
Ocean, check your DMs. Check your DMs, please.
I
Thank
did,
you.
yeah. I got you.
J Just, you're free to go. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Rick. Thank you for coming. Um, I have a question. Logan just played, I don't know what that was from, Logan, but it was a dramatic, some sort of series and talking about aliens. And I just saw like a podcast, someone talking about Pat Price and how he remote viewed um, these aliens or whatever they are. And it wasn't like all love and light. And I'm wondering, is that closer to the truth? And there's a debate going on. They're interdimensional, they're from space, they're crypto-terrestrial. Like, what are we dealing with? Are we dealing with all the above?
All
Are
of
we
the above.
dealing
There's more civilizations than there
start
are
I'm not
people on Earth.
asking you. I'm not asking you. You can tell me, I'm asking Rick. I'm sorry. But there's just so much muddied water. Do we know what we're dealing with? Do you know what we're dealing with? Does Hal Puthoff know what we're dealing with? Do the scientists who have been studying this for a while, obviously, do they know what they're dealing with?
Well, first of all, when I was in intelligence from 77 to 1988, we knew of 5 species of extraterrestrials that the United States government had contact with in some way or the other. Now, I was never fully briefed into that part of it, but I know there were 5 different species. They all came from different solar systems, maybe even different galaxies. They had different biologies, they had different technologies. So we're not just dealing with one species of extraterrestrials. At least back then, we're dealing with 5. Now, I understand now there may be as many as 100, but during my time I knew there were 5. And so they're all different. So we had to deal with 5 different technologies. We didn't deal with one. Now, again, I wasn't fully briefed into that part of the UFO program, so I can't sit here and answer questions about where they came from or whether they were interdimensional or they came from parallel universes or anything like that. I just know that we were dealing with 5 different species. We had some in captivity at Area 51, or specifically at S2 Annex, which is northwest of Papoose Lake. We had one that we captured during the Corona crash, or the Roswell crash in 1947. He was in captivity for 5 years. He had a handling agent. It was an Air Force captain, and who actually lived with this ET for those 5 years. And so that's about all I know. I don't know what information they gave us. I was never briefed into that program, but I just know that there were 5 different ones with different technologies and different biologies.
I just want to add one more thing. There was apparently a meeting with Grush in New York, and he gave a talk. And one of the factos of the meeting was that these things look like the typical grays. And he only spoke of one species. So I just find that interesting. But yeah, that's why I asked you, what are we dealing with? Because it doesn't seem to be really clear at this point. So
Okay.
Awesome. Was it Not Incredible that was next?
Hello, Rick. I'm very happy to have you here with us. Um, I have a couple questions tonight, but I don't want to throw you off in the deep end, so I'm gonna start with the easy one, which is a two-parter. The first part is, what is your favorite movie? The second part is, could you give us some background to like the history of the word or the term UFO working group? Because I've seen this wonderful, delightful show you have, the Doty Chronicles on UAM TV. Very hard to find since it's shadow bans and you have to go directly to the channel. But I really enjoyed that episode, and I'd be curious to know about the history of the term UFO working group.
Okay. First of all, what's my favorite movie? It depends. I've had a lot of favorite movies. I think probably my favorite was the original, The Day the Earth Stood Still, which was.
Oh, Rick, I'm so sorry. Did you know that the screenwriter for that was in the Signal Corps as a documentarian, and like it's kind of omitted from Wikipedia?
Yeah, actually, I knew the guy. He's since died, but I knew the guy that wrote the actual script. I was in Hollywood years ago, some years ago, on filming an episode, on Ancient Aliens, and actually met this guy who was 92 years old. He wrote the original script.
Was that Edmund North?
Yeah.
Okay, that's super interesting. Well, maybe I'll have some follow-ups about that later. But the UFO working group, I don't know if you can see up in the bubble, but I made a joking post about how, if you guys were the Avery and the new guys are the aquarium, UFO Twitter must be the doghouse.
Let me see if I can see that.
If you go
Yeah.
like left and right, it should be the second from the far left.
Okay.
There's quite a bit in the nest there, but yeah, I have heard you refer to like groups before, right? Like your group and then other groups. So that is
Okay. Well,
interesting.
the advanced working group, or the UFO working group, is what most people call the Aviary. That was formed back in the early '80s, and somebody later on gave us the Aviary names. They put me down as Falcon, but I wasn't Falcon. I was the lowest person on that group. I was actually a field investigator for the group. It was a quasi-government entity that we went out and talked to people. We were actually the first, very, 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 very first government group that wanted some sort of disclosure. It was led by Richard Helms, who was former director of Central Intelligence. He was the actual Falcon. I was Sparrow. And the group met periodically at classified locations around the D.C. area, although we met in Vermont a couple of times. And we just tried to facilitate some form of disclosure through other means. We didn't go out and held news conferences, but we would funnel information to different groups, some even MUFON groups, who would then do the disclosure for us. But that's
So Rick,
that's the
Rick, does that
actual
mean
UFO.
the term originates from there? Like that's the original place the term was used?
What, the Aviary?
No, UFO working group.
Yeah, the UFO working group was that was originated by the people that were in it, and there's, if you Google that, you could see. I mean, it's all over the internet of who was on the working group. Admiral Inman, Dr. Putoff, Dr. Green, John Alexander. The list goes on and on, but those are the people who were in the working group, and that was in existence up until about 94, 95, and it disbanded.
Okay, well, I appreciate your answer, and just for everybody, I mean, I paraphrased a little bit what you said in episode 2 of the Doty Files, but a UFO working group, coordinate data, see the big picture, and analyze the meaning of the phenomenon in NHI contact. And for me, that really resonated with me, just, because this subject can be derisive, and trying to actually get together in a room and, like, work towards, you know, resolving some of these things. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Rick.
I love it
You're
too.
welcome.
Communication and getting answers and working together is totally the way. But Taylor, your hand's been up forever, and I think Red Panda is next. But go ahead, Taylor.
Hey guys. So my first question to Rick is one, is there any chance that these beings are
But
supernatural?
Taylor, your
Um,
hand's been up forever, and I think Red Panda.
Wait, what? Can you hear me?
What? Somebody, yeah, I was hearing two different voices
It's
there.
is that
Okay.
can anybody hear me right now?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear
you're
you.
good. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just saying that my first question was, is there any chance that these beings are supernatural beings basically masquerading as space aliens? Is there any chance that that's the case? Second question is, are you an atheist, and what do you think about God and how he fits in the phenomenon?
Okay, supernatural, I don't think so. I don't think there's any evidence of that. So my personal opinion is no, I don't think they're supernatural. Secondly, no, I'm not an atheist. I was raised Catholic. I went to Catholic school, grade school, 2 years of high school, then 2 years of regular high school, and then a military academy after that. I spent 1 year in a monastery deciding whether I want to be a monk or not. So, no, I would not call myself an atheist.
So how does God fit in this whole phenomena if you're saying that no, these are not supernatural beings whatsoever? There's no chance of it. So how does God
Well,
fit?
they're extraterrestrials. They come from other planets. I could see a scenario where God created the universe and created everything. And I think, what you need to do is you need to read some of Linda Moulton Howell's information. She actually interviewed Eva One's handler, the captain, before he passed away, and she got a lot of information from that captain about what what the survivor of the Roswell craft thought of religion, and how they actually didn't believe in a god so much that they believed in a universal entity, in a deity in the universe.
Well, real
So,
quick before we let Red go, what's your take on the whole alien like alien religion crossover? Like as far as the Anunnaki and the giants, and could they have potentially been hybrids? Real quick, and then we'll let Red go. Sorry, Red, but yeah, like some of those old scripts talk about ETs coming and mingling with humans, and that sounds like hybrids, if you ask me. But
well, I think that's true. I think they did. I think the aliens have been visiting, some species have been visiting Earth for hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands of years, and they've integrated with the humans on this planet. I think it goes back to the caveman period, where the Cro-Magnons wrote petroglyphs on the walls of the cave, trying to picture what they were experiencing. And if you look at some of those petroglyphs, they show spacemen or spacecrafts. And they didn't understand it, but they drew something. So I think the ETs have been visiting us for thousands or tens of thousands and maybe even millions of years.
I think that, just to respond to your answer, I think that they are demonic, are spiritual. They do have good aliens such as Ezekiel's will, but the fact that these aliens, as Joe Jordan has described, the abductions can immediately end when invoking Christ or the Messiah. The abductions instantly end whenever they call on Jesus. And another evidence to me that it's spiritual is that you can actually invoke these beings using demonic rituals, such as it's written in The Circles of Time by Kenneth Grant and Aleister Crowley. So that is like a no-brainer to me that this is a spiritual phenomenon. Thanks.
They're pushing
Well,
God.
you can't explain then how we can see a craft coming and crash, and we go and recover live ETs from these crafts. They're not spiritual beings. They're flesh and blood
Well, no, the
biological.
Bible says too. They can masquerade as anything. They are real beings. They're physical beings. They can be spiritual and material at the same time.
Okay, well, real quick, I do want to get to Red, and then also Star Captain was waving. I don't think he has the ability to put his hand up, and I'm not sure where he was in our lineup, but I don't want to miss him either. And Red's been
Yeah,
waiting for some time, so
yeah. I mean, Ocean, this is your space.
we'll move along. We will come back. Okay.
Okay, Rick. My question was about that Lazar raid. So it sounded like they tapped you to be on that task force because they had suspected, right, that they had classified material. And I'm just wondering, was that related to UFO stuff more specifically than just like Los Alamos and whatnot? And then also, you had spoken about how like seems like there's maybe some kind of partnership with the Hal Puthoff Austin physics company he has, where it sounds like that was the like
What's up?
way that you connected with this task force. So is that like a recurring thing that happened with Puthoff's organization, where you guys would go on maybe other raids where there might have been suspected, I don't know, it sounds like
Go for
UFO
it.
related materials?
No. I worked for the Institute for Advanced Studies at Austin. That's a group headed by Dr. Hal Puthoff, and the institute had DARPA projects that dealt with classified programs, and there were only 2 occasions where I ever went on something like that. The Lazar raid in an incident in South Dakota, where a guy actually had stolen something from a national laboratory, and it was in pertaining to a special access program. And so those are the only 2 times I ever was involved in any such operation.
And do you think that they would be that kind of same tapping on the shoulder thing would happen today with like TTSA or something like that, or maybe even Skull Foundation?
Well, TTSA wasn't involved then. We didn't have
That's
a
what I'm saying. It was
TTSA. No.
Puthoff's was a, you know what I mean? So it's kind of
Yeah.
weird that they tapped on Puthoff for that, is what I'm saying.
No, Dr. Puthoff had DARPA classified contracts that dealt with a number of different areas. And you know, that's proprietary, so I can't really go into that. But if in fact there was a document pertaining to UFOs and it was classified, they would have shown it to me, and I would have made an evaluation, and they would have seized it, and he would have been in trouble for possessing classified information. So, but that didn't happen.
Well, thank you, Rick. I'm going to drop down and listen so more people can go.
Okay.
Rick, I have a quick question for you, if you'll take
Thank
it.
you, Panda. Yeah, I think it was either Star Captain or Tupa that was next.
Ocean,
Yeah.
check the DM.
Tupi, you can go first there, buddy. I'll go after you.
Cool. What's up, Rick? Good to talk to you again, man. I love when you're in these spaces. It's really cool. I had like a couple questions, like just some fun ones, you know, like I think maybe you've been asked this before, but like what like fact that you can share about the beings or disclosure itself or whatever, what has kept you up at night the most?
Well, it pertains to the abduction phenomena. That's the. I mean, the public doesn't know if maybe 5% of the abduction of what actually happens in the abduction phenomena, and they can target anyone, and some abductees have been contacted for all their life. I mean, one particular one I've dealt with, she was 4 years old, and she had more interaction with these 2 extraterrestrials than she did with her grandparents for over the years, and they instilled certain negative things in her mind, very few positives. And there's other dangers that we have encountered. Now, if you listen to Grush, he said that humans have been harmed by extraterrestrials, and so that's the arena that I would be that keeps me up at night.
Do you have like an estimate of like how many people per million are affected by this?
A lot. I don't know any numbers, but there is a whistleblower, an actual certified whistleblower amongst the 93 official whistleblowers that have been approved by the Department of Defense IG's office, that's on the list that Congress has and the DoD has. And one of these ladies, she has, and there's ways to prove abductions, okay? I'm not going to go into great details on it. I mean, there's a lot of people come forth and say, I was abducted, I went through all this stuff, and they investigate, and some of them are telling the absolute truth, and some of them aren't. And there's different
Are
ways
one of those methods the thing that that NASA engineer tested the Bledsoes with, holding metamaterials, for instance? And would another one be the research of Dr. Kit Green with the caudate putamen or the basal ganglia in the brain?
You got it. You said it, I didn't. Okay? You said it, I didn't. And I won't go into any more details than that, but you got that right. And there's other ways that they do a hypnotic interview, and they add a polygraph. When you're under hypnosis, your subconscious can't lie, and else other things. Anyways, over a period of years, she's been brutalized. I mean, her fingernails have been taken. She's had puncture wounds all over her body, from her toes up to her head. She's had so many vaginal examinations that it's raw down there for her when she comes out of these abductions, and it's just horrible situation. And and there's reasons why they do this, we think. And I'm not going to go into that. Dr. Green is the expert in that area, but that's the one thing that keeps me up at night. It would keep me up at night.
Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
Tupa, thank you so much. Peter and Star Captain, I know Star Captain. Peter, do you have a phone so you can raise your hand?
Negative. I do not know how to raise my hand, but I have a quick question for Rick if he's willing to.
Yeah, but hold on, Peter. Do you have a phone?
Yes, I have a phone.
So do you see in the bottom right where you see the purple thing next to the heart, next to the people icon and a wand? If you attach the reaction button where the heart is, the heart and the plus, on the far right, you should see a raise hand icon. Do you see that? All right, that's awesome. Star Captain, I know you have a phone because you texted me back and you told me you're charging it, right? So we're going to get to you, but moving forward, if you see me co-hosting spaces and the host, their connection goes down, I will insist on a phone until Elon fixes his shit. Star Captain, go ahead.
Nice. I try to
Yeah,
use my
I'm
phone for
here.
the most part.
I can hear sometimes, so I'm here with you guys. I'm almost home. 20 more minutes and I'm all yours, I promise. Sorry, go ahead, Star Captain.
Aye, it's all good. So my thoughts is since you're interested in the abduction phenomenon and the victims in particular, do you think what do you think it would take for the governments to actually assert like a war crimes case or like a crimes against humanity case against an alien civilization? Do you think that our governments
Is
are
there dead
prepared?
space or is it just me?
Just you.
Hey, Peter,
Can
if
you
you
hear
if
me?
you can't hear Star Captain, you can drop yourself down and ask to be speaker again, and we'll
Okay.
bring you back up. Sometimes the connection is bad. Go ahead, Star Captain.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So what I was saying is that what do you think it would take for the government to basically assert like a crimes against humanity case or like a war crimes case? Do you think that with our governments today as they are, that would be possible, or will we require like a a cosmic oriented government, like a cosmic Republic of Earth kind of model, in order to assert our human rights on a global and beyond global scale?
Well, that'd be a good question. And I don't know how we would enforce any such action against an extraterrestrial. Number one, we'd have to know which particular species of extraterrestrial we have, and then we'd have that's doing the abductions. We pretty much know which one does. Anyways, then we would have to, how do we serve them? and they're so advanced than we are. I don't think they would sit through a court. I don't know. I just don't think that would be
Might require
practical.
cosmic deterrence of some sort to ask them what it's going to take for them to stop, right?
Yeah, that's a good point, but I don't know how. I don't know how we would enforce it.
If we were able to reverse engineer their technology and send it back to them full of a couple of things that might have a little surprise, that might be one way of telling them to stop. Food for thought.
Yeah, I guess that would be one.
You think we
Yeah.
reverse engineered some of their stuff?
Oh yeah. We've reverse engineered probably quite a few things. Have you read Lieutenant Colonel Corsel's book? He was right on with a lot of things that we got from them. I mean, but
I feel like it was more stuff that was inspired by their equipment, right? It wasn't technically like reverse engineered so much as inspired by it, wasn't it?
I don't know enough about it, so I'm not a scientist. So I can't really say, but I know that we have had things that we reverse engineered, but more simpleized things that we could deal with rather than the complex such as their crafts and their propulsion system and their energy devices.
Yeah, the idea of reverse engineering an alien spacecraft, that just seems so like far-fetched to me. I don't know the order, by the way. Ulrich, do you know?
Yeah, I do. Logan, can you please approve Peter? Because my phone isn't.
Yep.
I couldn't approve Main or non-credible. Let's bring Peter back up here. You guys, we're gonna set the order straight, and if you guys can help me, that'd be great. I'm writing this down, but once we bring Peter up, he's gonna ask his question, and then we're gonna go Mistress, who is Axelrod, Jay Just, non-credible, and then Jamie. Logan, are you or
I'm
Ocean?
here. I got Peter up. Yeah.
You got
I
him up
got
Oh,
there.
you
you.
got
Wonderful.
me. I invited him. He's coming up like right now. He's requesting. So,
Rick,
right, that's Connor. Never
Rick, a
mind.
pleasure being able to have a conversation with you. Very quickly, you're familiar with Operation Paperclip at the end of World War II, where we sent in troops and scientists to gather up German intelligence and scientific. I think Werner von Braun is one of the more famous figures from that. Can you speak to any aspects of Operation Paperclip that included what we call UFO and what you just said about propulsion systems, energy systems, and specifically the name Wilhelm Reich?
Well, I only know what's in certainly way before my time, but I don't. I just know what I've read and what is an open text and about the Operation Paperclip and what we gathered in the number of documents that we found in the Nazis' archives and files and the scientists. There were a couple of different operations. One, when we first went there after the war, a special military team went in there and found the documents. The scientists told them where they were. And then in 1949, when there was apparently a whole catch of material hidden in a safe that was buried in Berlin, or just outside Berlin, that the scientists finally told the military about, And then we sent in another team that found those documents. Now, some of those documents actually talked about flying saucers, not UFOs, but flying saucers. I just know that. I don't know exactly everything that was in those documents. And our government classified them for a number of years. And maybe they are still classified, but that's really all I know about it.
Thank you, Rick. We're gonna go to Mistress.
Yeah, hey Rick, good to chat to you again. I remember in one of our previous conversations a while back you spoke about being an advisor on the X-Files. So I wanted to know, what are your top 5 X-Files episodes?
Okay. Season 1, episode 8 and 9. Season 2, episodes 4, 5, and 6. Season 3, I think episode 11 and 14. They would be the top ones. I think those are the only episodes that I actually worked on, and I didn't work on any other ones after that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, and I just want to let everyone know we're having some technical issues sometimes. Hey Ocean is being fucked with by the
No,
Halo.
I'm here. What happened is we're full, so if your hand's not up, I'm gonna just gently cycle you down, bring up the other speakers, and then as we go, take no offense to it, and request right away if you would like to come back up. But yeah, we'll keep the hands that are here, and whoever was next, Ulrich, and we'll just, I'll start the cycle now.
Yeah, and I'd really want to say, like, it's really special we have Rick in here. People have been asking some really good questions, some really hard questions. Please do Hey Ocean and Logan a favor. Please go ahead and make a post. Let people know it's happening right now. People like to tune in. Also, all of these speakers are brilliant people, really without exception. Please give them a follow. A lot of the listeners are also really cool in here, and let's get this thing tweeted out as long as you're in here and you're enjoying it. Next, we're going to go with who is Axelrod.
Hey, what's up? All right, so I have a question. So the OSAP program ran from, the dates on it are a little bit sketchy, so we're going to say from 2007 to 2012. We know it actually only ran like 2 years in between that, but, between setting up and closing out, like that, gives a little bit of push room. You, Rick, worked for Hal Puthoff during that time. What was your capacity and your scope of work during that time, given the fact that James Lukatsky and Colm Kelleher said that they had disinformation people and agents like running that game basically while that program was underway? Were you part of that? What exactly was your role?
No, I wasn't part of that. I worked for Dr. Putoff, and I was a field investigator. I had no role in any disinformation or deception operations. Lou Elizondo there were a number of people that worked with Lou Elizondo, and he was the one in the counterintelligence area, which is where disinformation or deception. The government doesn't
But
call it.
Lou Elizondo was said to have worked for ATIP, which was a completely different program from OSAP. Was he there on OSAP when you were employed by Hal Puthoff under OSAP? Was Elizondo employed under OSAP along with you?
No, you'd have to ask him that question. I don't answer for anybody else. I
But
don't know what
you just said
exactly.
that you worked with Elizondo. In what
He
capacity did you work with him?
he worked under ATIP that I know of. He was in the counterintelligence officer, and
But that's not
what
what
he
I
did.
asked. I asked under OSAP, and you responded under ATIP. So how does that?
Well,
How
I
does
don't know
that?
that. I don't know anything. I don't know that he worked under ASAP. I thought you said ATIP. No, I
No,
don't
I
know any.
said
I don't know. Okay, no, I know he worked under ATEP. I don't
So
know
why
about
would you
ASAP.
bring up Elizondo under OSAP when I'm asking you about OSAP?
No, you said ATEP.
No. I said under OSAP.
Okay. Well, I misunderstood you. No. Lou
So did
Alexander
you
worked
work
under
with Elizondo under
ATEP.
ATIP?
No, I never did. No, I never worked. I didn't even know the guy. I didn't even know him. So I didn't know him until I think I met him in 2012 or 2013 time frame. So I
So
didn't.
what did you do under
Why did
OSAP
you tell
for
me,
Hal
Jason?
Putoff?
I didn't even know the guy.
So no, I'm saying what did you do under OSAP for Hal Putoff?
Uh, we did. Okay. The Institute for Advanced Studies had DARPA contracts, and we worked uh, under different contracts. I did. I worked for him. I was a field investigator. There were maybe one or two occasions where we did something in at Austin for ASAP that was something to do with evaluating something or going out and talking to somebody that had something that would have went under the criteria of ASAP. But that's I didn't do anything else in that
So
than
why
that.
would you bring up Elizondo? Just out of curiosity, because that's kind of neat.
Why did I bring up
Yeah.
Elizondo? What? Because of
Why would
what?
you bring up Elizondo if Elizondo was not part of OSAP? And I'm asking you specifically what your duties were under OSAP under Hal Putoff. Why would you bring up Elizondo?
Because you said ATEP, and
No,
I
I
and
said
I answered
OSAP
you
and
that.
under. I asked you about.
Okay, real quick. There's lots of questions there. Kind of getting a little carried away with the questions. Keep your hand up. We'll come back to you. We got a really full room. We got Keemstar in the space. I want to give a shout out to that guy. Definitely give him a follow. And yeah, I want to get around to the hand. I want to give everyone a chance to speak while they have time. So if you're able to just put your hand back up and we'll get around the room for sure. Try to be respectful of everyone.
All right. Honestly, like, I think it's Jess. I honestly don't know what to do here because Jess, I think some of the questions you're asking are really good, but I'm getting the feeling that it's more like trying to corner Rick rather than like get to the truth that he's able to tell you. So Rick, like Jess is are we good here? Like, is there one last question, Rick, you're willing to answer? Like, tell me how you want to negotiate this, but we got to have a
I'm
safe.
just trying to ask questions. I'm not trying to corner anybody, but I'm trying to ask questions that everybody's wanting to know.
Right. So what is if you had to do one last question, phrase it for me. What's the last thing you have on your mind right now?
What exactly was his scope of work under OSAP, under Hal Putoff, and did it have anything to do with Elizondo under ATIP? And did he have anything at all, or did he have any acknowledgement of Elizondo's involvement with ATIP?
Okay, I mean that's a lot. That's like three questions, right? Uh,
That's one serious question, like all tied in together. Like I'm not trying to corner. This is the biggest question. Like that's what everybody wants to know.
okay, I tell you what, Rick, are you clear on the question? And
I've
you
already
just
answered that. I've already answered
okay,
that three
I
times.
know they're
There's
yeah.
no.
going in a
So
loop. Come on,
I've
it's
already
just a
answered it, so
loop.
there's no sense answering it
yeah,
again. I already
yeah.
answered it.
So Jess, we're gonna move on. All right. Jay, Jess, when we have new speakers in here, I like to sort of prioritize them. Are you cool if I let Keem speak, and then we're gonna continue on to the order? Is that cool with you?
No,
And
have
everything
at
else
it.
good?
That's fine.
I'm sorry,
All
guys,
right.
that I bumped the line. I definitely was not up next, so sorry for everyone holding their hand. But my friend just DM'd me, and he's like, Rick's in here, and I'm like, who's Rick? And I Google you, and I see your picture, and I'm like, oh, that's the guy from the documentary. And it brought me to this like simple question. See, like the reason why the government or whoever, right, is not telling us about the UFOs is very simple to me. It's because they want to get the technology. The technology is very, very valuable, right? The US must have that technology. No one else or whoever, these dark projects or whatever, they want the tech. But now it seems like there's a push to for disclosure. And all these people that were behind the scenes like you, Ricky, are now coming forward. In the documentary I seen, you were bribing people and paying people off and doing some hush stuff. I mean, those were your words. I don't know if that was it exactly, but maybe you can enlighten me. But now you're part of the Disclosure Project. So what is the goal now? If we're going to disclose, what is the motive now to tell the world, hey, this is real. We got the tech. Are we just trying to scare China, Russia, and all of them that the U.S. has some crazy advantage? What is the motive now to come out?
Well, I think it's been leaked out over time, and now the public has gained interest in it. The actual story of the United States government involvement with extraterrestrials. And now the people want to know. And for us insiders, who used to be insiders, but now I'm on the outside, I'm pushing for disclosures just like, probably more so than some other people. But I understand, having worked in the inside, that we're never going to get full disclosure. We're never going to get information that is coming from sensitive sources, which could be extraterrestrials, or methods we use to collect it. We might be able to get historical program or historical facts about the United States government's involvement with extraterrestrials, and that's going to satisfy some people, but it's not going to satisfy everyone. And you hit it when you said we want to protect the technology that we gathered from extraterrestrials. We don't want the Russians. We don't want the Chinese. We don't want the North Koreans or Iranians. We don't want our enemies to get their hands on this material, this research and development material, because we want to be the first ones. We want to use it. And unfortunately, the opposite side of that, which I am not for, is keeping it all to the government. I don't think we should do that. I think if we had material from the ETs that would help medical science, we should release it to the public and help science. I think there's a lot of things that we're probably doing, or the defense contractors are doing, that could better society, better energy, and so forth. Maybe clean energy, and which we're not doing. So I'm on that side, and that's why it's really, really important to put pressure on your legislators to try to get some kind of standalone bill in Congress that will force contractors and force the government to give up this non-defense related technologies that we gathered from extraterrestrials.
Can I quick follow-up question?
Yeah, absolutely, team.
Sorry,
And
guys.
no, that's an awesome question too, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. And if you wouldn't mind after that, if you could just tweet this out. The space I don't think is being recorded, and I want as many people to be able to tune in and listen. And go ahead.
Oh, we're recording it. So you said there's a certain group of ETs that are doing the abducting and stuff. Could you elaborate more on that? And could you elaborate on your knowledge of how many different types of ETs they are? I think that's an important question with anyone that has knowledge behind the scenes should be asked. And I don't know how that easy one always gets skipped in these interviews and documentaries. Go ahead.
Well, I can only relate on what I know and what I had access to during my time in. And we had, I knew of 5 different species of extraterrestrials that the United States government, and this is we're talking about the 50s. I mean, the 50s, the 80s. And they were, we knew about the Greys, which were ones that were, that landed at, or crashed in, Roswell. They were the Greys. We knew they came from Zeta Reticuli star system. And the second group we knew about were the Archeloids. Now, I don't know who named these. I know who named them, the Defense Intelligence Agency. I don't know why they used these Lloyds things. But anyways, there's a group called the Archeloids. They're various heights. They're somewhere between 5'9" and 5'8". They normally wear a grayish jumpsuit or two-piece silver suit. They have slanted eyes, oval heads, 4 fingers, protrusions for ears and nose, and they're distinguished by double joints. They have double joints. The quataloids is the next one what I knew about. And these were genetically engineered ETs. Now, I don't know what that means. I'm just knowing that's how they were listed. They're insect type. They're the ones that look like praying mantises, and they can appear in other forms, but they're all seem to be some type of insects or hideous looking creatures. And then we have the hepaloids, and these are entities that they're confused with the grays and evens, but they're different. They're a little taller than the evens or the grays. They have a number of different eyelid openings, and primarily probably because their planet has a bright sun. And that's what scientists think. Their heads are proportionally larger than the body, and their hands have 4 fingers and 4 toes. And then finally, the tranthaloids. These are human-looking ones. They're about 5 foot, 6 foot tall. Some of them have blonde hairs. The female species has long hair. They're very slender, almost as if they don't have any body fat. They have strange-looking eyelids, and they have a human-looking mouth and nose. And that's those are the 5 that I had
See, how come
that
this
knew
isn't
about during my time.
This is not in any of the documentaries. That's how you get everyday people that aren't paying attention close to this topic to pay attention. It's always way too vague. There's a spaceship in the side. ETs are coming here. Man, if someone would just take some time and describe multiple different species and how they look and what we know, that's super interesting. Like, you're going to get everyone paying attention.
Well, this thing has actually been on the internet for years. The title of it is Defense Intelligence Agency Identification of Extraterrestrial Races. Now, there's only one page that was leaked. There's actually this is a 6-page document, but the front page, which is a summary of everything inside, everything else is still classified. So, it's out there.
So, Kim, thank you. Yeah,
Last thing
go ahead.
real quick. Are you familiar with the jellyfish ET that's really popular right now? It's all over Twitter today. Ashton wanted me to ask for you.
Well, I saw it on Twitter, and no, I'm not familiar with it. I've never heard about it. I just thought it was funny what was appearing on Twitter.
Yeah, Keem, thank you for those questions, and I want to follow up on that. Rick, is this technically disclosure? Did disclosure just happen? I mean, you just told us about at least 5 different species of aliens. You did work for the government. Is the case kind of closed? Did disclosure just happen right now here on X? I mean that seriously.
No, like I said, this document has been on the internet. The only page that I'm reading from is only been on. It's been on the internet for a long time. So I don't know that. I mean, for your space, yes, I guess it was disclosure. But now there's a lot more in this. I mean, that I know about, like home planets. They know where the home planets are for each one of these species. Now, I don't know how they know, but they know that the grays come from Zeta Reticuli star system, and the planet is called LP9. And the Archeloids come from the Epsilon Eridani star system, planet number LP1811. I mean, that stuff, I don't know how we know, the government knows. This is something that was discussed when I was deposed in January of 2022. I was in Washington. I was a whistleblower. I was interviewed by the Department of Defense Inspector General. I sat for 2.5 hours, telling them everything I did. They showed me one of my reports that I did in 1982, and asked me to look at it and comment on it. Unfortunately, the document was heavily redacted. And I said, well, don't you have one that's redacted? I mean, I can't remember something I did 40 years ago. And they said, no, they can't get one from OSI that's unredacted. And I said, why? He said, they're just not cooperating with me. Now that tells you right there the complexity of this problem or this disclosure effort that we're having is one agency isn't going to talk to the other agency. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm sorry, you guys. My audio got lost a little bit. So yeah, you're saying this is complicated, but the fact that you know this information, I'm more interested in hearing it from you than what is and what isn't on the internet, right? Like, isn't it meaningful that you just told us right now we have at least 5 different